Welcome to Town Talk, the official podcast of the town of Stephenville, where community conversations happen. I'm Marilee Joy Castillo, Communications Manager at the town. This podcast takes place in the Chamber of Town Hall, where we share updates, ideas, and information about what's happening in our community. Joining me today is Gerard Pomeroy. Gerard is a candidate for council in the upcoming municipal election. Welcome, Gerard.
Thank you, Marilee. Thank you very much.
So, Gerard, before we get into our questions, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
All right. My name is Gerard Pomeroy. As you know, I'm running for Stephenville Council. It's not my first time running. I've been running a few other times besides this. I was raised and born in Stephenville. I graduated from St. Stephen's High back in 1977. After that, I worked a couple of years with Pepsi Cola as a salesman, 2 years as a salesman. And I decided to go back to college to continue my education. I did my first year accounting in the Stephenville Crossing. And after that, I did community studies. And in 1981, I moved to Alberta, like everybody else, looking for greener pasture, I guess. And then after I been in Alberta for 3 years, I went to the military, and I spent 3 years in the military there as a financial clerk, and 3 years. And then we moved back to Halifax, Dartmouth, again to pursue my education. And I opened up a business in Halifax in 1984, accounting business in Cole Harbour. From 1984 to when we moved back to Stephenville, 1990. So 6 years we spent in Halifax increasing my educational level when it came to accounting. And also I opened up business there 6 years. And we moved back to Stephenville, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the best move I've ever made. We always want to come back to Stephenville. We have a son and a daughter, Ashley and Adam, and my wife is from the area. So we were blessed to be able to stay here in the Stephenville area to work, live, and play.
Excellent.
I've been a proud business owner in Stephenville for the past 35 years. I have a county office here. My first county office was at the Harmon Mall for a couple of years, and then I moved to the mini mall in Stephenville. And then in 1995, I bought this building here on Main Street, which has been my county office since 1995, over 30 years now, in this particular office, Marilee, believe it or not. Time goes fast. But again, I operate a county office and a county office in Dartmouth. I had construction companies here, rental companies, laundromats, bars. In the past, I also ran cleaning companies, and I was also the owner of Hardery's Family Restaurant. Excellent. And through these venues, I employed many local people and gained a strong understanding for both the challenges and opportunities in our community. As you know, I'm an industrial commercial institutional accountant. I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce back in the 90s, also serving as vice president for a number of years. I was the treasurer of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm a commissioner of oaths for the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. So I'm also a member of the Knights of Columbus. I've been on the executive there for years, and also a member probably for the past 45 years.
Wow, so you've worn a lot of hats, for sure.
Yes.
So, Gerard, what motivated you to run for council? I know you say you previously ran, but what motivated you, or what motivates you to run for council?
Well, Marilee, I always been inspired to run for politics. Either was municipal, provincial or federal. It's been in my heart for a long time, as I can remember. I love listening to local news, following what's happening in town, and I always thought that one day I'll be part of that decision making. After more than 42 years of running a business here, not only in Stephenville, but in Nova Scotia, everything from accounting, construction, rentals, laundromats, and even restaurants. I've learned a lot about leadership, accountability, and working with people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's time to bring my experience to council and give back to the community that has given me so much.
Excellent.
I love the town of Stephenville, and I'm prepared to go to work for them. I'm ready to retire and go to work, on a different level.
In a different level.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Gerard, what do you see as a top issue in Stephenville right now?
Well, Lordy, as you know, housing, as far as I'm concerned, is a major issue. I get between 15 to 20 calls a day from seniors looking for a place to live.
Wow.
So I know the need firsthand. Economic development is another. We need to make sure permits and business supports are handled quickly so entrepreneurs actually want to open up a business here.
Mm-hmm.
Infrastructure is a big concern. Roads, sewer needs steady upgrades. Not everything at once, but every year, taking a piece until the town has modern infrastructure. The stadium, the swimming pool, the Arts and Culture Center are also key assets to our community. They are aging. Those facilities support amazing events like the Stephenville Theater Festival, which is a world class, and they deserve top-notch infrastructure to keep attracting talent and visitors. Healthcare is also vital. We need to make sure that our hospital isn't downgraded and that special services are maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Building on the healthcare retention program that the town has before is one way to encourage professionals to live here. And there is the quality of life, Marilee. Like, for example, sidewalks needs to be improved. Snow clearing has to be kept up. And the town bus is a great asset, which I think is underutilized. But I love to see a full-time driver so he's used to his full potential,
Yeah, excellent. So, Gerard, how will you, if you're voted into council, make sure that the voices of residents are heard around the council table?
Well, Marilee, if a resident has a problem, we would work. We will be able to work on that problem together and find a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Every problem has a solution. If you're willing to listen and collaborate, I'll keep an open door so people know they can come to me with concerns, whether they're about taxes, recreation, housing, or snow clearing. When it comes to council, I will make sure these concerns are actually brought to the table. It's not just about reporting them, it's about following through and working as a team until we find a solution. At the end of the day, council works for the residents, not the other way around.
Right. So, Gerard, you've talked about a lot of different qualities that you have and experiences that you've had in the past and currently. So, what qualities or experiences do you bring that would make you an effective counselor?
Well, Lordy, I've been I've been making decisions involving money for the past 41 years. And making bad decisions costs money.
Mm-hmm.
Can cost you. The experience has taught me how to weigh the options, think long term, and make choices that keep things sustainable. I run business across a wide range of industries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an accountant, and I created jobs here in this town. So that experience have given me the stability, the financial know-how, and the ability to make tough calls. Just as important, true, is teamwork. I work with employees, business partners, and community groups. And I bring the same collaborative spirit to council. No one person has all the answers. We get things done by working together.
Okay, well, Gerard, that's great. What would be your approach to encouraging small business growth here in our community?
Well, Marilee, as you know, small business is the heart and soul of any community, not just Stephenville, but any community across Newfoundland or Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to make it easier for people to start up and succeed. I love to see real welcome packages for entrepreneurs, not just forms, come into the town office and give a form and sending that entrepreneur on their way, but something that connects them to the financing available properties and support already here in this town. And once they are open, we need to check in on them and make sure they are thriving,
Yeah.
That means less red tape, more support, and making sure some of our unused infrastructure. We got big spaces that could be turned into small manufacturing or logistic hubs. At the end of the day, business create the jobs. So they succeed. The whole community wins.
Okay, so Gerard, what about regional collaboration? Do you see opportunities for more regional collaboration with surrounding communities throughout Bay St. George?
Absolutely, Marilee. And collaboration is the way forward. Stephenville is the service hub, but we're stronger when we work together with the surrounding communities. Healthcare is one example. We will be working with nearby towns to maintain and improve the hospital services. Tourism is another. We got incredible beaches, trails, festivals, and cultural attractions across the Bay St. George. Promoting them together makes us stronger destinations. When you combine resources, you can market bigger, attract more visitors, and support more businesses. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing, Marilee. We all want the same thing, is thriving regions where people will want to live, work, and visit.
Hmm.
So Stephenville is a community where we can increase our sustainability, and move forward. We have a strong community here, and it's all we need is somebody with a little bit of knowledge that can push this community forward.
Excellent. So, Gerard, how do you think the town should prioritize community development, economic development, municipal infrastructure? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, Marilee, I see it as a 3 parts that are all connected. For community development, we need to make Stephenville attractive for families, seniors, and young professionals. That means like a splash pad for kids that was spoke about at the last election, but never happened. Down at this Blanchbrook Park, beautiful spot to put it. I walk there every evening. Good recreation programs and a strong community facilities. For economic development, we have to look at people who want to do business here. If someone comes in looking for a permit, they should be looked after promptly and supported through the process, not discouraged by red tape. And for infrastructure, the basics comes first, the water, the sewer, and the roads. Absolutely. That's what the town is over here. We should tackle them steadily year after year, so the town is always improving. On top of that, I like to see upgrades to sidewalks, snow clearing, the bus service, and of course the stadium, the swimming pool, and the arts and culture centers. These are all things that make Stephenville not just functional, but vibrant.
That's great, Gerard. And I know a little bit earlier in your segue, you did mention housing. So that's kind of one of my next questions. Do you think that Stephenville needs more housing options? And second part to that is, if so, how should council address that?
Yes, absolutely, Marilee. Absolutely. I see it every day. Housing is one of the biggest challenges we face. As a landlord, especially, I get constant calls from seniors looking for a place. so I know the need firsthand. We can address it by streamlining the process for developers so they can build more quickly. We need to identify suitable land, offer incentives for construction, and look at converting some of the unused buildings into housing. Nonprofit partnership can also help, especially for supportive housing. The bottom line is, when it comes to housing, if you want to attract people to live and work here, we need somewhere to live. Housing is directly tied to economic development, and it has to be a top priority. It's simple. It goes back to the basics: food, clothes, shelter. We need food. We can't do without either one of them. Food, clothing, or shelter. It's the basics. We have to go back to basics where we go talking about housing.
That's right. So, Gerard, I've just got a couple of more questions for you.
Okay.
How would you ensure transparency for the town, or more transparency, should I say?
Transparency is more about, it's more about posting, minutes online, Marilee. It's about making information easy to understand and accessible to the residents. I like to see plain language budgets, summaries each year. As an accountant, when a client comes in here, I put it in, plain, simple language, how they're doing on their bookwork. And another thing would be like online dashboards that show the progress of major projects. And even like short videos after council meetings, explaining what decisions were made. I also support councilors holding rotating office hours, often so people can drop by with questions, and forming advisory committees on housing, recreation, and economic development. That way the residents aren't just watching from the outside. They're directly involved.
Mm-hmm.
They're directly involved in the conversations that guides our town.
Excellent. Well, Gerard, my final question, if you could sum up why people should vote for you, what would you say to them?
Well, Marilee, I spent my lifetime building business, creating jobs, and giving back to Stephenville. I know how to manage resources, plan for growth, and make decisions that benefits in the long term. I'm also willing to serve without any remuneration. I do this free of charge, or any stipends, or any bonuses. When you're running a town with a budget of $10 million, you shouldn't have to pay councilors and mayors over $500,000 for a 4-year term. You shouldn't have to pay that for a couple of hours a month, for councilors and mayor. That money could go into the for public equipment, tax relief for seniors, and families, or improvements that benefits everybody, So, I'm willing to carry this on as a volunteer counselor. And I think it should be a volunteer because our town is too small. 6,500 people is too small to justify having paid counselors and having paid mayors.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be a proud volunteer in my time because this town has already given me so much. It's given me so much, and I just want to give back. And I'd like to thank you for your time. And I'll be a strong and motivated voice for the people of Stephenville.
Excellent.
Look for your support on October the 2nd, Gerard Pomeroy.
Excellent.
You will not forget it.
Thank you, Gerard. I really appreciate you taking the time and answering our questions we have here today and giving residents some information about your platform.
Thank you, Marilee, and thank you, the residents of Stephenville.
So that concludes this episode of Town Talk. Thank you very much to Gerard Pomeroy, candidate for council in the upcoming municipal election. Tune in for another edition of Town Talk.